one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from ABC News. An Alabama grand jury has recommended that a city's police department be immediately abolished, the whole department, finding there is a rampant culture of corruption, officials said last night while announcing the indictment of 5 of the agency's officers, including the police chief. 5 Huntsville, Alabama police officers were arrested and charged amid a probe into the department, said Coleman County District Attorney Champ Crocker. There's a name. The spouse of one of the officers was also charged, he said. Quote, "This is a sad day for law enforcement, but at the same time, it is a good day for the rule of law," said Crocker during a press briefing. Crocker provided limited details on the case, though the investigation encompassed the department's evidence room and the death of a Huntsville dispatcher, 49-year-old Christopher Michael Willingham, who was found dead from a toxic drug combination at work, according to officials. The Coleman County Grand Jury found the Huntsville Police Department has failed to account for, preserve, and maintain evidence, and in doing so, has failed crime victims and the public at large, making the evidence unusable, said Crocker. The grand jury further found that Willingham's death was the direct result of the Huntsville Police Department's negligence, lack of procedure, general incompetence, and disregard for human life, said Crocker. None of the defendants were charged in Willingham's death, said Crocker, though the unfettered access that a lot of people had to the evidence room is the basis of the grand jury's finding regarding the dispatcher's death, said Crocker. Quote, "One of the most concerning things that we discovered in this process is that the Huntsville Police Department's evidence room was not secured." That's according to Champ Crocker. Crocker said that Willingham was given access, like a lot of other people, to the evidence room, including on his last day at work. The dispatcher died on August 23, 2024, with the cause of death determined to be the combined toxic effects of fentanyl, gabapentin, diazepam, amphetamine, erisiprodol, and methocarbamol, and the manner of death an accident, according to the state medical examiner's autopsy report. When asked if Willingham may have been exposed to fentanyl that was not kept in a secure place, Crocker said, "Nothing was secure about the evidence room. And when Mr. Willingham was discovered, there was evidence in his office." A municipal judge entered an order on Wednesday, that's yesterday, calling for an audit of the evidence room. Among those charged are Huntsville Police Chief Jason Shane Marlin, who is charged with failure to report an ethics crime and tampering with physical evidence. Uh-oh. Officers Cody Allen Kelso and Jason Scott Wilbanks were charged with computer tampering, tampering with physical evidence, conspiracy to commit a controlled substance crime, and use of an official position for personal gain, said Crocker. What's this tampering with evidence? Where they try to put it back real quick? Officer William Andrew Shellnut, what's with these 3 names in Alabama, was charged with tampering with physical evidence, Crocker said. Eric Michael Kelso, who is a reserve officer, and his wife Donna Reed Kelso were charged with unlawful distribution of a controlled substance and conspiracy to unlawfully distribute a controlled substance, said Crocker. Now, the distribution charges are not based on the distribution of anything within the evidence room, and they are accused of distributing certain drugs to other individuals, including some of these other defendants, he said. All charges are felonies except for tampering with physical evidence, which is a misdemeanor, according to Champ Crocker. That charge alleges that the defendants mishandled or removed evidence from the evidence room. The employment status of the officers charged was not immediately clear, and the defendants surrendered yesterday and have since made bond, says Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry. Now, attorney information was not immediately available. Quote, there's nothing more important to us in law enforcement than good, honest law enforcement. When we have those that do wrong, it hurts us all, said Sheriff Gentry. Among nearly a dozen points raised by the grand jury, it found that the department is a particular and ongoing threat to public safety, has a rampant culture of corruption, and has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency, said Crocker. Crocker said the grand jury recommended that the Hanceville Police Department be immediately abolished and that another law enforcement agency be tasked with protecting the citizens of Hanceville, which has a population of around 3,000, probably the sheriff's department. Sheriff Gentry said the sheriff's office has not received a formal request to take over the Hanceville area in Coleman County, but we are making preparations. We will do whatever is necessary to protect our citizens in Hanceville, he said. Huntsville Mayor Jim Sawyer said he and the city council are fully cooperating with the investigation, as if you have a choice. Quote, the council will carefully consider all recommendations and act swiftly and decisively to address the problems within the police department. That's what he said in a statement yesterday. He goes on, our citizens, industries, and businesses deserve a resolution, and we will pursue and implement the necessary corrective actions openly and aggressively. We deeply regret the negative impact this situation has had on our community and the hardworking employees of our city. It is unfortunate that the actions of a few have tarnished our city's good name, says the mayor. So, first thing, what's up with all these three names? Anytime I do a story in Alabama or North Carolina, it's like Jimmy Bob Lee and Joey Bob Jones. You know, come on. All right. First name, last name. Okay, Alabama. I digress. I'm just having fun with that. But it's true, right? You know, Billy Lee William. Like, what? Um, but the thing here is that they want to abolish the whole police department because it's corrupt. And they said, you know, this police department is a threat to public safety. That's bad when you say that about a police department. That police department, they're a threat to public safety. What the? They're protecting us. I wonder what you all think about this story. And the evidence room was just, what was it, like a storeroom? You just open, you go in, fentanyl, gabapentin. Let me get a little bit of methamphetamine. I'm good.